So with that, let's throw up the slideshow and get rolling, Garrett.
Yeah. All right. So Eco-socialism 101. So introduction to ecological socialism and green political thought. So, if you saw our previous month's presentation on the Green Party, we talked a lot about what the green key values are that guide the party, and just kind of an overview of the structure of the party and all. We didn't get very deep into kind of the philosophical ideas, right? The why exactly do we support certain policies over another? There's we made some kind of arguments for the Green Party and the Green Platform last time, but coming from the socialist angle, you can see a little bit more where those ideas came from and how the key values themselves were developed, for example. So before we get too deep into the socialist thought, I just want to real quick start with sort of a mindset that we should have when we're talking about socialism. We're really actually considering larger questions about what the structure of society should be. What type of life do we want to live? That's actually the fundamental question underneath all this stuff. That often gets really lost, especially if you watch, mainstream media or something like that, right? Everyone argues over, oh no, I want 2% tax. Well, I want 2.2% tax. It gets lost in the sauce, to take Howie's term, and all this very technical expertise stuff. And we kind of sometimes lose sight, I feel like, of what we're trying to actually accomplish with our political organizing, with our political struggle. And for me, it's very important to point out that for, our political struggle is about creating the life that we want to live and working toward that and making a better society that enables us to do that. So I think we should ask these fundamental questions about the structure of society as we go along. And when we look at life as it exists today in a more capitalist society versus where we want life to go, we could very clearly see the differences in capitalism versus socialism in terms of, what do we want out of life and are we actually getting it? All right, so our presentation breaks down to a few sections. We'll very briefly go over what capitalism is, although as Chris pointed out in our last session on this, from a few months ago, we took a much deeper dive into capitalism. So check that out if you'd like to see more discussion. After that, we'll talk about socialism kind of in general and its history, where the idea of socialism came from, and kind of some different tendencies, some different variants of socialism that we might hear about, including the ones that influenced the Green Party. And then we'll go into more of a modern history of socialism in the U.S., where we'll talk about socialist parties and movements in U.S. history that actually led to the Green Party, and what all of that would mean in the direction of organizing. And of course, our next month presentation will be on what we learn about organizing and how we can organize our communities.
Yeah, I mean, the reality is that we talk about the Green Party, socialism, and organizing in everyone, right? These are intersectional topics.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't talk about socialism you can't talk about socialism seriously without talking about organizing, right? If we're going to achieve socialism, we have to be actively organizing on the ground in the real world. So, in all of these workshops that we've done, there will come points where we'll say, whoa, we're diving down a rabbit hole. Come back in a month and talk about that in organizing.
Right.
And sometimes we don't catch ourselves when we drive down that rabbit hole. But we're going to try, we try to, make notes and make connections. But, a lot of this stuff, we'll direct to and point to the other two sessions in these 101 series where we talk way deeper about something that we might just mention tonight.
Yep, absolutely.